hour into our weather impact alert that extends from now all the way until 8 o'clock this evening due to the threat of some of these storms becoming strong to severe across our area. The main impacts in these storms are going to be the high wind as well as that hail threat, and some of these could be producing a little bit more heavy rain locally. So that is another thing that we're going to have to be alert for. What I need you to do, make sure you have the WFMY app handy and ready to go, and make sure you have multiple ways to receive warnings heading into these next couple of hours. So we're going to start out here on the radar. I have my computer here just to kind of help out in sort of storm tracking with you guys, because you guys can see all of these yellow polygons that indicate severe thunderstorm warnings starting to move into our area, as well as just toward our north and portions of Virginia as well. So we're going to zoom in on this for right now. In our area, mostly just seeing right now in Wilkes County as well as Stokes and also Rockingham counties, these severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. These are all continuing to kind of push toward the northeast between 30 to 40 miles per hour. So they're going to kind of continue to push this way with more on the way these next several hours. I anticipate us seeing most of these storms by around 4 to 6 o'clock, really out of our hair by around 7 or 8 o'clock, hence why we have our weather impact alert day ending at 8 o'clock for the night tonight. Up here is that threat. We're going to be seeing damaging winds, locally heavy rain, and even some hail in some of these storms. So to kind of zoom in on this Wilkes County storm right now, I did see some notable hail with this system kind of moving into the region, and we've been seeing up to around half an inch up to around 1 inch so far in diameter for some of these hail sizes. You can see the dark gray, light gray, and it kind of goes to that large. So when you start to see that bluish color or even purples, and the highest being red, that's when you know that the hail is getting larger in these storms. This system is continuing to push toward the northeast, and we'll continuing to keep kind of an eye on that. As for this storm up here in toward Stokes and Rockingham County, this is just toward the north of Meadows, and this warning goes all the way until around 3:15. It's currently right over Danbury, where we're seeing kind of the highest reflectivity, where we also note the most locally heavy rainfall in the storms. There was that hail track from that system from that storm in Wilkes County. Now we are seeing several storm reports right now in Surry County just within the last hour or so. So I did want to spend a little bit of time on this to show you kind of what we've seen so far. This is just to the north of Mount Airy, where we had a 911 call center in Surry County reported a tree and power lines are down and blocking this road right here, Green Hill Road near Mount Airy in North Carolina. Let's pop up actually another one so that we can kind of see. This is just toward the south of Dobson here in Surry County also. So another tree fallen in the road near the intersection of Brindle Road and Caves Mill Road near Dobson. Let's look at another one down here toward the south of White Plains. City is level crossed, and a tree is currently down near Farm Lane and excuse me if I pronounce this wrong, Ararat, North Carolina. And then we're also looking at other areas that are also seeing some wind impacts across the area. Right here in Mountain Park, this is reported another tree down across the road near the intersection of Capps Mill Road and David Barker Road. This is also near Elkin, and we'll continue to show you these reports heading into the next several hours as more storms move into the area. But for now, again, we're continuing to track this line of severe thunderstorms moving into our area right now into portions of Stokes and eventually into Rockingham counties. And most of these storms, again, pushing northeast, but could certainly, if they hold together, begin to impact us here in Forsyth, also in Guilford County, and even in Alamance over the next several hours. So we'll keep tabs on that, and I'll continue to keep you updated. As for active watches across the area, we do have a severe thunderstorm watch for some of our northernmost counties. This is for Surry County, Stokes, as well as Rockingham and also Caswell counties. This goes all the way until 9 o'clock for the night tonight. I do anticipate that they are going to drop it a little bit early behind the main line of storms by around 7 or 8 o'clock. Nonetheless, I'll be with you to guide you through these storms and kind of keep you updated on those active watches as well. Severe thunderstorm risk for our area, severe storm risk, I should say. We are in a level 2 out of 5, and what this means in comparison to level 1 is that scattered severe thunderstorms are going to be possible versus level 1. That's a little bit more isolated across the area. This becomes a little bit more scattered. We're expecting more. Then to our northeast, where you see this orange, this level 3 out of 5. that's when you start to see numerous severe thunderstorms possible across the area. And this level 2 area does take up all of the Triad as well as most of central North Carolina, most of North Carolina actually in general across the region. So we've kind of gone over, some of the threats that we've seen, but I did want to emphasize the flash flooding risk for the area. We are in a level 1 out of 4, and although damaging winds and hail are two of our biggest concerns, it's also the locally heavy rainfall and some of these thunderstorms. They can drop a lot in a very short amount of time, which increases the risk for flash flooding. So we'll be keeping an eye on some of these storms, especially if they are slow movers across the area. We certainly have had our fair share of that just in the last week or two. Hail risk is at 5%, so it's pretty low for our area, but I did want to show you it anyway. It is still on our board. And in comparison to damaging winds, I really think this is the highest risk for us today in some of these thunderstorms. When you have in the upper atmosphere these winds that can go up to around 50 to 60 miles per hour, you can get mixing all the way down to the surface, and that's where you can see 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. And today we're in a slight risk, so 15% for damaging winds. I did want to show you the tornado threat. It is very low for our area. In fact, we're not even in the lowest of low risks. That's actually well to our northeast. Never say never, so we'll continue to keep an eye on it, but we really don't have the ingredients much for the day today for tornadoes. It really is just going to be the hail, the locally heavy rain, and of course the winds across the area as well. Water vapor map, this just kind of shows you upper levels what is actually going on. So we've been showing you this cold front slowly approaching the area, bringing in this risk of storms that could be strong to severe. And you can really kind of note it where you see this drier air here, and you can look up on this legend to kind of help you if need be as well. You see like that yellowish orangish color, that is that dry air coming in behind this cold front. Those storms are also popping up very, very quickly, as you can see here on the water vapor with they're kind of bubbling up these little pockets of moisture, and they can really pop up and expand very quickly in those storms right now on the water vapor map. So that's another cool thing to see. And here's that line of severe thunderstorms continuing to kind of push through central portions of the Triad over the next several hours. And this kind of extends all the way up toward our north and also to our south. But for now, just a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings for westernmost portions of our area. I do anticipate some of those being able to make it all the way through the region, so make sure you're keeping an eye on the phone and make sure you have multiple ways to receive severe weather alerts. Rainfall yesterday just to our north saw up to around an inch in Reedsville, up to around a half inch in Mount Airy. Haven't seen quite as much for the day today, just a couple of hundredths of an inch. Other than Mount Airy that's received now, this is my first time seeing it over half an inch of rainfall. 0.13 inches in Wilkes County, where we have been watching more and more showers kind of move in and out of the area. Futurecast, again, most of these scattered showers and storms going to be moving into our area by around 4 to 6 o'clock tonight. I really think by around 7, 8 o'clock, majority of these storms are going to be through our area and continuing to push kind of east toward Raleigh and also toward our coastline. By the time we're into tonight, we're starting to cool off a bit, and we're also going to be seeing drier conditions over the next several days. A live look right now in Burlington, lots and lots of clouds, and you can see the winds kind of whipping those flags right now across the area. Not any active warnings right now in Burlington or in Winston-Salem. But boy, is it hot, and boy, is it humid. We're right at around 90 degrees currently in Winston-Salem, and with dew points in the steamy 60s, it feels like we are in the lower 90s. A look at the temperatures across the board. We're in the upper 80s, right at around 90 degrees for Forsyth here, Guilford, and also in Rockingham counties. But you'll notice out toward our west, where they just saw some storms roll through, it's around 20 degrees cooler from those storms rolling through the area. So 68 currently in Wilkesboro, 89 right now in Greensboro, and 90 in Winston-Salem. So I know a lot of us aren't excited for the severe thunderstorms, but you know what? It will cool off our area and our atmosphere. So that is some good news, and it will also help with these dew points. Humidity has been a lot lately. We've been in the upper 60s and 70s for dew points, and that just makes it feel tropical outdoors. Highest wind gusts that we've seen so far today up to around 30 miles per hour. But remember, in some severe storms, we could see up to around 60 miles per hour. Next couple of days, remember tomorrow is the first day of summer. I'm going to take this full screen so you can get a better check on this. Mainly dry for the next couple of days, and we are going to start to warm up. Low to mid 90s Saturday and Sunday, and it is hot and it is humid. It is feeling like summer. Early next week, we're back in the mid to upper 90s, still in the middle 90s through the later end of next week. Coming up, we'll have more on WFMY Plus on your latest updates on the forecast. Stay tuned.